We're gonna do one in a couple days, and we'll grab
Yeah,
all the healthy.
Y'all do your thing, bro. Y'all are doing some good shit, bro. Keep doing you.
Appreciate it. Hey,
Yeah,
how
man.
about this start though?
Bro, I'm happy, of course, bro. But I went on Twitter after we beat Miami. I see these folks saying resign Fournier. Are you fucking sick? This is the type of shit. This is the type of shit that pissed me the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I'll put it this way for you. He's taking more of a limited role. He's knocking down shots when we call upon him to knock down shots, and that's all we need him to do, bro. Like,
yeah,
you cannot play defense. You were getting cooked by Beal for 2 nights in a row. That's okay, though. You know what I'm saying? Just knock down your shots when you're wide open. That's all we need you to do.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
facts.
But yeah, bro. But y'all take care, all right?
All right, you too,
All right, I'll
man.
talk to y'all boys soon. All right,
See
peace.
ya.
Lets it fly. He throws it!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 407 podcast. My name is Mills. I'm here with Justin. This is episode 5, and we're going to talk some Orlando Magic basketball.
Once again, we just want to thank you guys so much for listening to us. Shout out to our 142 subscribers on YouTube. Please continue listening to us, liking, sharing, getting the word out about the 407 podcast. We absolutely cannot wait to bring the podcast to Spotify, Apple, in the 2021 new year. Also, a little bit of a shout out to our 816 Instagram followers. And just tonight, we hit 300 followers on Twitter. So once again, thank you guys so much for the love. Hashtag Magic Together. We love the support. Love making content and having you guys on the show. We'll be having another group panel come on the show, talk about Magic basketball soon. But go ahead, Mills, and talk to us about the Magic opening week.
Yeah, so it was a very, very nice week for Magic fans. I'm sure many Magic fans, probably all Magic fans, are pleased with each of the games. We start the season 3-0. There is a very small sample size, and we can't get ahead of ourselves at all. But it is pleased to see, as the team has not been able to do this in recent years. And if they can go ahead and win against OKC tomorrow night, then they will have broken any record that they have ever set in the history of their franchise. So it'd be really cool to break new ground and do that, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So we'll start with these first 3 games. Game 1 versus the Heat. Justin, what are some things that you saw, some things you liked, and some things that you did not like?
The number one thing I liked was this team's energy. We talked all about the offseason, how this team was an upgrade. They're ready to go. Cole Anthony was going to be a scorer, bring it in. But the number one takeaway for me from game 1 was Cole Anthony leading the team with 7 assists off the bench. It was absolutely awesome to see him. One of the themes of this podcast is talking about just how amazing this Magic basketball team has been in the fourth quarter this season. But holding Jimmy Butler to 19, 7, and 3 was great, while Aaron Gordon had 20. Vooch had a double-double. Terrence Ross with 19 off the bench. But yeah, just that fourth quarter, outscoring them 34-24. What an awesome way to open up the season with a 6-point win over the Miami Heat, who went to the NBA Finals last year.
Yeah, so I thought it was a very good, convincing win. We were in it the whole game. We never really trailed by too many. And what's going to be a theme of these first 3 games, and hopefully throughout the rest of the season, is that monster fourth quarter performance. I like that we spread out kind of the performances of different players, like Gordon, Vooch, Fournier, Fultz, and Ross all played really well. And then a really good start for the rookies, as Okiki had 5 boards, and obviously, as you said, Anthony led the team in assists with 6. So overall, a great win, great team win, and definitely something that they wanted to build on and start the season off strong against a really good Heat team.
I will say Evan Fournier looked awesome in game 1. I think that was his best game of the first 3 so far. He led the way with 25 points. His three-point shooting was awesome. driving, and although everybody hates when he screams, getting to the free throw line was huge for Evan Fournier. But Markelle Fultz being the number one point guard has been the story of the next two games we're going to talk about. Talking about game two was when the Orlando Magic won by 10 over the Washington Wizards. In that game, Terrence Ross had 25. Vooch had a 22 and 17 night, while Markelle Fultz was 21, 4, and 7. Only downside of that game was letting Russell Westbrook drop 15, 15, and 12. Absolutely amazing game if you guys have fantasy basketball, Russell Westbrook. But letting Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal go off on us was the only downside of this 3-game winning streak. That fourth quarter where we outscored them 38-29, the theme, just like Mills was saying, that was the big story of that game. What are your takeaways from game two winning over the Wizards?
Yeah, so kind of a similar story to game one. Kind of went back and forth throughout the game, and then with that, once again, monster fourth quarter, we were able to pull it out. I will say, Beal did go off, and Russell Westbrook had a very good game. I mean, you can't complain with having a triple double, but he did take more shots than he had points. He went 6 of 19, so we kind of kept his efficiency in check. So that was definitely something, one positive from, if you can take a positive away from a triple double performance against your team. But yeah, I thought that Ross, Vooch, and Fultz and Gordon played really well. We shot 50% from the field, which is all you can ask for. And then a lot of nice contributions off the bench, specifically MCW and Cole Anthony getting all over the place with boards, assists, and points. So, and that's another theme, kind of a smaller theme, but that second unit led by Ross has just been electric and really helped us. You can only ask for your second team to kind of survive until the starters get back in, but they're doing more than that. They're thriving, and that's definitely something we look to continue in our future games.
That's a fantastic point. I saw a bunch of people on Magic Twitter saying we need to get help for the second line, get better pieces off the bench. Our bench has been absolutely fantastic, fueled by Ross. Okiki's looked good. Anthony has been awesome off the bench coming in as a guard. So I'm very happy with our bench play, and that'll lead all the way into this third game, which I will say is hands down one of my top 5 favorite games I've watched from beginning to end as an Orlando Magic fan. The 43-19 fourth quarter with a 17-point comeback was absolutely fantastic. Markelle Fultz had 26, his career high. Terrence Ross also had 26, while Cole Anthony off the bench was sneaky good with a 12, 7, and 3. And his athleticism, his hops getting up for rebounds. Markelle Fultz just driving down the lane doing these crazy layups. He took over in that game. So I absolutely love that comeback, that fight, that spirit. I knew as soon as Cole Anthony took a charge underneath the hoop with about 6 minutes to play, the Magic were ready to take this game over. So I absolutely loved watching it. What do you think,
Yeah,
Mills?
I like that you say that because a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter." I mean, it's the Wizards. Like, they really are going to question the competency of this NBA team. But the fact that we played them back to back nights in Washington, like it's hard to do that. It's hard to sweep a team, regardless of what NBA team it is, if you're playing them back to back nights in their arena. I mean, they were able to watch tape and learn what they did wrong and come out and play differently, and they did that. They were beating us handedly for a lot of the game. A lot of the game was us coming back and then them going on another run. So the fact that we put it together again and show this consistency of going off in the fourth quarter and the bench just lighting it up, it's just really, really cool to see. And it definitely was an amazing game to watch as a Magic fan. Something interesting, 37 of 38 from the free throw line, 97%, which is just ridiculous. And you can't ask for them to, continue that performance, but it definitely is improved over recent Magic years in shooting from the free throw line. Markelle Fultz, I think, only missed one free throw, so definitely good to see him step it up from the line, and hopefully, and he also shot 2 for 3 from 3-point land, so hopefully he can keep that going too and just keep improving. He's already averaging 20 points a game through the first 3 games, and definitely an early most improved player candidate, hopefully. So not much more you can ask for the first 3 games of the season.
That'll definitely come up in my takeaways coming up in a few minutes. But I've loved recapping these first 3 games with Mills, telling you guys all about what's going on for the Magic this last week. But now both of us have a couple takeaways. If you didn't catch any of the games, just how the team's looking, what was good, what was bad. My first line of takeaways is Vooch continues his good bubble form. He's been absolutely amazing on the boards. He played awesome defense against Thomas Bryant, in my opinion, who I think could be in the running for most improved player as well. Dwayne Bacon did not continue his preseason form, so I don't think he's looking too great in that starting three spot. So we're looking forward to James Ennis coming back as a shooter. While I do think Chuma Okeke, with more minutes, confidence, and experience, could also slide into that three spot very, very soon, and that would be awesome. What are your takeaways, Mills?
Yeah, so the first one is Ross just commanding and leading that bench. A lot of people on Magic Twitter or on Bleacher Report are expressing interest in having Ross move up to the starting group, whether that's after moving Fournier or just benching Fournier. And I don't think that's a good decision. I think that he has such a good relationship with the bench and can really lead them in scoring. Um, so I really like that aspect of the beginning of the season, and hopefully that continues throughout. And then kind of a sleeper takeaway, and something that might change, and I almost hope changes because we haven't seen anything from Bamba yet, and it's just like shrouded in mystery as to why he cannot play. But Cam Birch has been playing really well as a backup center. He's been getting a ton of boards, playing super physical, and making shots that he does not usually make. So I'm very happy with his play so far. As far as negatives, definitely one that you mentioned, Dwayne Bacon, not very efficient, not shooting very well. Um, but we haven't really needed him to do that. So hopefully he can just kind of come into his own and figure it out as the season progresses. Um, and then also just getting those rookies involved more. They're kind of coming into their own, and we'll see kind of what happens as they get more comfortable. But as of right now, it's looking like they're struggling just a little bit. Anthony's playing well, but Okiki is. I feel like he's just struggling. I don't know if you feel the same, but watching him move with the ball, um, his ball handling was pretty impressive at Auburn, and it looks like he's a little kind of nervous when he's moving around with the ball. So hopefully that just comes with games. He hasn't played basketball in a long time, not excluding the preseason. So hopefully he can just get more comfortable and get those reps. But yeah,
I I agree completely on both of those points. I'm happy you brought up Kem Birch. I do think Okiki does look a little bit timid. We knew that was going to happen after not playing for 2 years. But yeah, the only reason Kem Birch isn't talked about more is Vooch. Vooch is absolutely insane, averaging a double double right now. He's looking like the prime All Star season Vooch. So very happy to see that. Couple other takeaways. Like you were saying, Terrence Ross should be sixth man of the year right now. Fultz has to be in the running for most improved player. And Cole Anthony, if he continues on this pace, a couple more minutes, he could also be in the running for rookie of the year with LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards starting off a little bit slow. So other takeaways from that is we're shooting well. 3 and D and energy and effort really brought us into winning that game, that third game. And yeah, Markel Fultz is proving that contract extension is worthy, and Evan Fournier's draft stock is rising. Those are my final takeaways. So, bunch of little points here and there. Just went on a little ramble, but a lot of good, a little bit of bad. Very exciting time to be a Magic fan.
yeah, definitely. It's gonna really come down to these future games and really see if they can keep this going. But it is very awesome to be a Magic fan right now. So I know you had some games highlighted in the future and what we can kind of look to next. So, any particular games
Yeah,
that we have?
talk about the NBA standings and around the league for week one. Talk about our upcoming schedule. We have OKC on the road tomorrow night, which is probably when this podcast will be released. That will be Tuesday night. We're on the road in OKC, followed by a 4-game homestand with the 76ers, the Thunder, and 2 games against the Cleveland Cavaliers. What are your thoughts going into these next 5 games?
Yeah. So OKC started out well with their lone win, but I think that we match up well against them. I think if we can limit Shea Gilgis, then we can really shut down their team. So they've lost a lot of players. So yeah, I think we match up well with them, and hopefully we can go 4-0 for the first time in Magic history. That would be awesome. As far as Cleveland, I mean, on paper it sounds great, but They are 3-0, like us. If you look at the East standings right now, it just looks ridiculous. If the playoffs or if the regular season ended today, the playoffs would be crazy. So hopefully we can play them well and hard, and we'll just I guess see what happens. It gets really tough a little later on with Dallas and some of the other teams that we have to play. So in Philadelphia, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely think we can have a positive record in the next 6-7 games, and hopefully
Yeah,
keep this record going.
Dallas will be scary down the road, but for the short-term future, I see us matching up very well against OKC. One of the negatives from week one was our inability to control Bradley Beal as well as Russell Westbrook. So Shai Gilgeous could be the only concern there. I see us winning both those games against OKC. Like Mills was saying, starting off 4-0. We've always played the Philadelphia 76ers very well, so that'll be a great game at home. That is on New Year's Eve night. And one of the things I want to stress, if you guys are in the Orlando area, you're healthy, you got nothing to do, go see these games. This Orlando Magic team is exciting to watch. So the Orlando Magic will have these 4 straight home games, followed by the 2 with the Cavaliers, another team that we look great against on paper. However, one thing I'm going to talk about in the around the league portion is Colin Sexton is on absolute fire this year. Just like Beal, just like Russell Westbrook, we did struggle containing these huge all-star fire players. I think that we're going to struggle against Harden when that Houston game comes up on January 8th. However, I see the Orlando Magic being 7-1. I see us only dropping one of the games, most likely to Philadelphia, but 7-1 is how I see us starting this season.
That would be amazing. I think all Magic fans would sign up for that right now, if able. So hopefully, we can keep it going and do that. But as far as around the league stuff, yeah, Colin Sexton looks really good. Um, Something interesting, which we can probably talk about a little bit. Don't have to dive too deep into, but John Morant looks to be injured, and it doesn't look super serious. As I think I just saw a Bleacher Report that it's not a fracture, but left that game with an ankle injury, and that's definitely something to watch for Memphis. I know they're not in our conference, but still something to watch for that Memphis team as he literally carries them.
And a little bit more about our upcoming schedule I didn't get to add in is the NBA this year is not at all like the Major League Baseball, the MLB. Every game matters, especially in this shortened NBA season. We have 3 divisional wins already over the Wizards twice and the Heat one. That's 3 divisional wins, 3 Eastern Conference wins, so every game matters. Although we thought it was very funny, the Washington Wizards broadcasters were saying their game was a must-win in Game 3 of the season. We had a lot of fun listening to their home team broadcast when the Magic ended up coming back to win that game. But every game truly does matter. So starting off 3-0 is an awesome boost.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's all Eastern games and all divisional games. So yeah, definitely very important to win those, um, so that we can afford to lose, games outside of our conference. So yeah. Okay. Quick question for you, Justin. Out of the scoring leaders, so strictly on points per game, where do you think our scoring leader, Terrence Ross, ranks?
I think Terrence Ross has got to be top 15. If I had to take a guess, I'd put him at 9.
That is very generous. He is not 9. He is 24th. So he
Wow.
cracks the top 25. But there are quite a few people. Some people around him are SGA, Paul George, Julius Randle, which is interesting, Gordon Hayward, Devin Booker, Zion, Stephen Curry. So, I mean, he's in good company. But yeah, he is averaging 23.3 points per game. Fultz, who is our second scoring leader at 20.6. Let's see where he's at. He's at 32. Um, so
Now,
definitely around good company. He's only one behind LeBron James. He actually tied with LeBron James at
that's awesome.
20.7. So that's interesting.
And we played 3.
Um,
Some of these guys up at the top have played 1 or 2. So 3
that
games
is accurate.
having 2 20-plus point averaging players for the Magic. Never thought I would see that. So that's an awesome way to start. Good for both of them.
We just gotta hope they can keep it up.
Here we go to finish out with our last segment here. I'm going to ask Mills a couple questions, what he thinks is going to happen with his team this season. A couple little fun things before we wrap it up on this first week Orlando Magic 407 podcast. All right, Mills, what is going on with Mo Bamba? I know there's no answer to this that we know in the general public or the media, but give me your best shot.
I am so confused as to why they don't just come out and say, "Oh, it's this problem or it's this thing that he's working on." Every I see on Bleacher Report every day, it's like he gets interviewed and the interview doesn't get released, but it says, "Oh, he's doing good and he's excited to be like over the hill as far as rehab or whatever." And I don't know if it's lasting problems from when he had COVID in the bubble, but it's just I don't know. I feel like fans really want a lot of clarity because they don't even like he doesn't even show up on the injury report, and then there's no word as to why he plays 0 minutes a game. So um, uh, to figure that out would be great. Hopefully, in the next week or so, we can figure it out and he can get minutes because this is just like I'm upset because I care. Like this is such an important year for him. We really need to see what we have in him, and I feel like his potential is really there. So I don't want him to waste this year, and then we have to move on from him. And I know he picked up his option, but still, it's scary to see that there's a chance that he might waste this time. So
I
definitely hope we can get back out there.
I couldn't agree more. It is the biggest question to ask right now. Anybody's guess is just as good. But a player we do know to be coming back soon is James Ennis III. How do you think he's going to fit into this team, and what does he bring to replacing Dwayne Bacon's role?
Yeah, so probably not much in the scoring end. I know Dwayne Bacon's struggled, but not much in the scoring end, but definitely a bona fide defender, rebounder, and he's obviously more, not much more, but more matured in the system, having been here longer. So he'll have little more of a relationship with his teammates. So hopefully, some more continuity he can bring.
Fantastic. One fun question and then one very good complex question for you. Aaron Gordon's hair, yay or nay? Cut it or not?
Oh, it's a nay for me. I thought he was gonna because he had it but he had the fro in the bubble, but then he put it into cornrows and he was looking like a light skinned Kawhi. So I don't know. He looks like Bob Ross right now, so I can't. I don't know if I can ship it, even though I love Bob Ross. So yeah, no, it's a nay for me. I'll go with nay.
It's gonna be a nay for me. However, we've both been talking about this. The new Aaron Gordon, what is it? The AG ones have just been released. What do you think about those?
They are fire. I know you're gonna get a pair. I think I'm gonna get a pair too. They are a Chinese brand called 361. So uh, getting them here might be a problem, but they look not really nice. There's like 3 or 4 different colorways, and they all look really cool. But yeah, I'm super happy for him. I think he was originally signed with Nike, but I mean, Nike's not going to give him a signature shoe. So good for him to go out and find somebody else and get a signature shoe because only a handful of players can really claim that. So good for him.
And the last question, has these 3 games changed your opinion on this team? Do you think we make any different moves from what you've seen? Do you think our playoff spot changes at all? And this is all a little bit of fun going off of how the Wizards broadcast said game 3 of the season was a must win for Washington. So we know it's not all serious. 3 games does not mean what the season is, but what do you think's changed, even if it could just be in a vibe from the team?
Well, definitely a vibe from the team. I mean, listening to the post game interviews, they are very, happy and proud of themselves. So if they can play with confidence and they can shoot with confidence, then that's going to mean a lot going forward. But you are right; it is only 3 games, so we can't read too much into it. Before the season, leading up to the season, we were talking about kind of what moves they would do and what players like might be on the hot seat or moved. And I talked a lot about how before the trade deadline, it really depends on kind of their record and how they're playing. I mean, if the Magic look good and they look like they're gonna, not make a run, but make the playoffs and play well, then then maybe they, don't move anybody and they kind of keep it rolling. So I don't know exactly what they're gonna do. It's too early to tell, but if they keep up this good play, then I think that they're still looking, at the maybe play-in tournament, maybe a little higher, maybe push the 6th seed, depending on how kind of the other teams are doing. So yeah, probably not too drastic of a change, but something you could see is a lack of movement in free agency which would mean, not moving on from Fournier or Vooch or any veterans, and kind of just letting them play out and see how this team can work it in the postseason.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm almost positive we're going to make the playoffs. I don't see us falling out from being a top 10 team in the East. I'm very optimistic about that 6th seed. I don't think we're going to be in a playing game, but if we are, I trust this team to win tight games, especially with our fourth quarter play, as we've seen so far this year, and Fournier's play so far. I think that's only good for his trade stock. I think the Magic can get a lot for him, and I think either way, he's probably going to get moved at the deadline this year. We've heard rumors about him asking for a trade. We do not want him re-signed next year. I don't think the Magic would want that anyway. But yeah, very happy first week. 3-0 going into 4 of 5 very winnable games for this Magic team. So great time to be a Magic fan. Go ahead, Mills, take us out.
Before I take us out, I have one question for you. It's really a two-part question.
Got it.
But is it going along this line of, a 3-0 start and thinking about things, way too early predictions? Is it too unreasonable as of yet to say that Markelle Fultz is in the running for most improved player and Terrence Ross is in the running for sixth man of the year?
Oh, absolutely not. I think T. Ross is always up for sixth man of the year, and I think his play, his three is just unconscious from three. They call him the Human Torch for a reason. He's been absolutely amazing. And Markelle Fultz, given the time, the ball, Evan Fournier sitting back and taking more shots with Markelle, running the point, driving more, finishing crazy shots, and like you said, Mills, 2 for 3 from 3 last game. I think Markelle Fultz right now is the front runner for most improved player. If he keeps it up, he stays healthy. I am more than happy giving him that contract extension. So I agree. I think both of your questions, both two-parters, I think they are both deserving of those awards, at least the recognition, and keep them on a watch list as of right now. But yeah, very, very happy with both of them. Pretty happy with almost everybody on this Magic team right now. I cannot wait to see how we play the next couple of nights.
Yeah, I would agree with all that you said. So yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Um, like Justin said earlier in the podcast, we're going to try and do another big roundtable episode with all of the homies, all the Magic fans. So stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on our respective social media platforms, which Justin will remind you about. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
We are at the 407 podcast _ on Instagram and Twitter. Once again, thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for liking, commenting. We love making this content. We love talking to all of you. And we will be back very, very soon. Go Magic. Thank you guys.